It's the Tom Carlson Show.
Woo! That it is, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Tom Carlson Show for Monday, July 20th, 2020. How the hell are you? You like the view? For those on YouTube, I am podcasting from deep in the central Idaho wilderness. And you may remember I was going to be posting a show last Thursday because I was supposed to fly out on Wednesday, and that didn't happen. I think Tuesday afternoon came around, and I was like, where the hell's my check-in? I never bought the fucking ticket. So, ended up going out on Thursday, and kind of eerie experience going through the airport. So I flew from JFK to Salt Lake, and fortunately, Delta's, I guess, my favorite. Delta and Alaska for me are like 1-on-1, and I had the Delta Comfort. Not that I needed it, because there's about, 20% capacity on the plane, so that's kind of nice. Everyone wearing a mask on the plane. Everyone in JFK airport was wearing a mask. Thomas, we don't give a shit about masks anymore. Talk about something else. I get it. But I thought it was interesting. So I'm on the plane going from JFK to Salt Lake, and and I quit smoking cigarettes I don't know, 3 weeks ago or so, and you're trying to hawk up that lung butter, so to say, and I'm just in the fucking plane just trying not to cough because everyone's just gonna look at me and give me the side eye. So after I was just swallowing my coughs, I get to Salt Lake. Salt Lake's airport was, to me, way too fucking busy. I have no idea why. Because out west is getting hammered with COVID. And there were some people in Salt Lake airport without masks, whatever. I'm not going to tell them to put on a mask. It's their own thing. And I think out here, the knowledge has just not made it this way yet. But I swear to God, I saw a couple of pilots walking through the airport, no mask. So, what are you gonna do? Salt Lake there were some regular people. There was this, oh my God, there was this group of teenagers, maybe college kids in the airport, just being loud, no masks. And I decide, as I've gotten older and sober, I never used to be an aggressive dude. And now I am, and my blood pressure just goes to 180 in about 2 seconds. And I had to go, sit down in the corner, just fucking not, so I just couldn't see him. Because I wasn't going to say anything, because that's annoying. I was just good Lord. So, based on those people, this little candle here is like the Olympic torch. And it's 90% full of mosquito oil, whatever you call that. And based on what I'm seeing, man, that we got about 90, I don't know, man. As soon as this thing empties itself, then we'll be done with Corona. So I don't know, maybe 2 more years. Who knows? But it is fantastic being in the wilds of Idaho. I forgot how much nature is good for me. And it's amazing to be up here. So the little town I'm in, no names mentioned, they're doing pretty good. There's a mask ordinance up here, and it's kind of it's more touristy. There are some locals here, but most people are wearing, the stores have the mask orders and stuff, so Bacall seems pretty good. So I came out here on Thursday, drove up with my fam on Friday, and then played golf at the local muni here on Saturday, and this is the first time I have played golf in, I don't know, 10 months at least. Well, no. Yeah, probably like 10 months. And first shot off the tee, stroked a 3-iron with a beautiful baby fade, like 260, right in the middle of the fairway. Parred the first hole, went on to shoot an 86. So I'm going to maybe go to the driving range here after the show. But like the golf course is pretty good. Like people have the mask, but you don't need them. That's the thing. Like if you're far enough away from people, you don't need to wear the mask, right? And the limited knowledge I have listened to or read from my family's patriarch doctor is there's two theories on the spread of COVID. And I'm going to butcher the science part of this. I should have had my dad on to describe it. Let me see if I can get him on the phone. How about this? Give me 1 second. He is working. Let's see.
Hello?
Hey, Dad, you're on the podcast.
I'm on podcast.
Can
What does
you
that mean?
can you explain in more of a doctor's language what you were explaining to me, if you have like 2 minutes, the difference between the droplets and the aerosols?
The droplets are greater than 5 microns.
And this is what we're breathing out, right?
Yes. Droplets are greater than 5 microns. And the aerosols, which you're breathing out, everybody does, are less than 5 microns. And the question has to do with which one of those are the infectious things that's getting you with COVID. And the predominant theory has to be with the droplets, which is why the face masks seem to work. If it had to do with the aerosols less than 5 microns, the face masks aren't going to be worth much anything.
It's because aerosols stay in the air because they're so light, and then the droplets
Right.
fall to the ground because of gravity, right?
Correct.
Okay, so
Got it?
you heard it from the CDC director's mouth. Thanks. Appreciate it,
There you
Dad.
You bet.
All right, bye. There you go. So wear your face mask and we should be fine. Dr. Dirk. Hope you guys could hear the intro music I did. I worked on that for like 5 hours. Hadn't played a guitar in like, I don't know, since I moved to New York. And so it's a little rough, but I don't know. Fun to play around on here. And congratulations to John Rahm, the Spaniard, 25-year-old, won the Memorial Golf Tournament this weekend. And man, that place was playing like the U.S. Open. I think at one point he was lapping the field at 12 under. The closest guy was at 6. But John Rahm, great dude. He's a little hot under the collar, as they say. But he played in the Skins game with Tony Finau on Wednesday, and they just crushed the Euro team, even though Rahm is Spanish. He's playing with the American there. And he had this great thing after he won. He gave Jack Nicklaus, it's his tournament, a fist bump. I mean, she should have just shook his hand, but, you know, everyone's sensitive on, like, you know, these PGA players are getting tested. They're getting tested multiple times. They're getting tested, like, daily. And PGA has done a fantastic job structurally in making these tournaments happen. But when he won, let's see, he was doing an interview with Amanda Balionis, who I love. Hey, Amanda, what's up, girl? Holla at me. And his grandma died from COVID in Spain, and another family member, and he wasn't even able to go to the funeral or anything. And he said they put her ashes out like the day before he won. And then on the other side of it, he has another family member that just had a baby. And so he explained very eloquently how everyone's feeling right now and the emotions of everything. You have death, and he has life in his, yin and yang, all that stuff, darkness, light. And if you're able, this is a guy that gets like pissed off on the golf course. And I think if that guy has that kind of perspective, he's 25, just won like $2 million. And he just wants, to play and like let people watch, be safe. But I loved it when he went over to his girl that he just married, I think. Maybe it was his fiance. It could have been his wife. And she has her mask on, and the girl's like trying to give him a fist bump, and he's just like, I don't care. And took her face mask off, gave her a big hug, kissed her. So I thought that was good. Like, at that level, that's a huge life event. Go kiss your wife, So, congratulations to John Rahm. One of the shitty things about that is these TV producers, they're getting so damn close on, like, the shots. They're just, like, it's zoomed in, like you're watching through binoculars, how close these guys' clubs are to the ball when they're, like, didn't practice shot. And he moved his ball, he didn't improve the lie at all. But he touched the ground near the ball, and it moved a dimple. And thank God he was up 5 strokes or something. This was on 17. And they ended up giving a 2-stroke penalty. But they got to stop. Golfers will report themselves. I guarantee Rahm didn't even see it. And but he didn't improve anything. He didn't help himself at all. It's Thankfully, the PGA got rid of the snitch hotline they had to the public who were watching on TV. But, they got to stop getting so close to these guys. Even, like, with the, them cussing and stuff. It's not their fault. Everyone swears on a golf course. Are you kidding me? And, anyways. So. The world is still on fire, it would appear. I don't know what the hell. You Portland people, stay safe, man. I don't know what's going on over there. Allegedly, there's unmarked vans driving up to groups of so-called protesters and just throwing them in the van and taking them somewhere. And the way they're able to do that is they can start classifying these people as terrorists. And because, like, here's the thing, guys. Protesting, great. Anytime, once you use violence against the state, it's over, dude. It is over. Then it's game on, man. Then they can do whatever they want. And I saw this photo of this fucking person. I don't even know what to call him. I'm going to call him a him, okay? Looks like a dude. But he's got this, like, bleached hair and shit. And he's got this shirt on with, like, I think he's got pink hair or some shit. Just a super fucking loser. My opinion. And it's a lot of these people that are just failed this, failed that, failed at this. They're not getting theirs, and they want and they hate people that are successful and have money and shit. And he's wearing this shirt that says "White men are terrorists," and it's just like, all right, dude, game on, man. If you want to, you're white, and by appearances, you are a man, at least from a sex point of view, perspective. And it's just like these people. It seems to be I'm sure they're everywhere, but it's for whatever reason, Portland and Seattle attract these people more than anywhere I know, and these types of people are not gonna do well when shit hits the fan, So I really think they should. They're just breaking shit to break shit. Like, what the fuck what are the Portland people burning the Portland police shit down for? I haven't heard anything about there's been horrible videos of protesters getting attacked, but once you start using violence, man, it is over. And if you don't believe me, there's a whole nother world that exists that these people are either ignorant to or decide doesn't exist somehow. And a perfect example of this is that horrible event that just happened with let me find it, sorry. Okay. With Judge Salas's family. So Judge Salas was assigned 4 days ago to unravel the money laundering in the Epstein case. So it's not specifically tied to Ghislaine. But you remember me a couple weeks ago, I was like, people are going to start disappearing. Things are going to happen. Okay? Because there's a power out there. And if you don't believe me, I guess that's fine. But life is going to be harder for you if you don't accept the fact that these people exist. So Judge Salas was assigned 4 days ago to unravel the money laundering case and the Epstein case. This is in connection with Deutsche Bank as well as the Bank of Commerce and Credit International. And so Judge Salas was assigned 4 days ago to unravel all the money laundering case and the Epstein case, hundreds of millions worth with banks, suspects. Yesterday, a gunman shows up at her house, shoots her husband, kills her son, and escaped without going into the house. And the person who did this, the husband is in critical condition, and the son is killed. This is the judge's family. Was disguised as a FedEx driver. There's no robbery. There's no nothing. That doesn't just happen by chance. Okay? So, these people who are trying to... I go back and forth with if there's a way to make societal changes that are actually lasting via peaceful protesting and voting. You have to believe that you can do that. Although there's so many strings attached to everything. I get why people are like, fuck it, we got to burn the whole thing down. But the people who are saying that are not going to survive in a society without order. The people who are going to survive are these morons that we got here in Idaho. The anti-mask people who got their fucking cowboy hats on. They're like, here's the thing. There's this idiot who's I don't know. He's been in all kinds. He's been national news. And I think his name's Ammon Bundy. Perfect last name. And there's this in southwest Idaho. Not necessarily. It's near Boise, but it's another county over, more in the farm ranching land. And it's like they came to the health building, I don't know what it's called, for that county, who was doing a meeting. And this is ridiculous. It's July, and they're just now having a meeting on whether people should be wearing masks. So, and these rancher dudes come in guns, not guns ablazing. I'm sure some of them had controlled carry permits on them. I bet nearly all of them did. And they're going into this building to try and get into the meeting and say, no, we don't want to wear masks. It's taking away our rights, that bullshit. And it got like physical. They had to call the police, and then they had to cancel the goddamn meeting. And my point to these Bundy motherfuckers is, dude, you live on a ranch. Just don't wear a mask out there. Just don't come into the city. How's that? And it's just like, they're totally using the mask thing to do another thing. And then one other thing on those, I'm going to call them Portland people. Sorry, Nick. Sorry, Kirby. Sorry, Ian, James, all you guys. I know you're not Portland people. You just happen to live there. And this is all over the country. This is in New York. This is everywhere. But it's this white men are terrorist dude. That so many people are using these protests, riots, screaming shit as a form of their own identity. Because they're so lost in the world. They've failed at everything they've done. They have no money. They're using they're failed writers, they're failed comedians, they're failed. They're not. It's this, and they don't know who they are. They've listened to so much far left socialist talking points that is now their identity. That's not your identity, man. You are yourself. And these people are like screaming and crying in the streets. It's like a pub grab for like, look at me. Things have been so hard. Like, oh my gosh. You know what? I'm sorry, but the world's not nice, and you gotta play the game to some extent. I'm sorry. We don't live in a rainbow world that you want it to exist, and that will never exist. As soon as there is any, let's say we overthrow the police and in Portland, let's just say in Portland, and the federal government doesn't do anything. You think no one is going to take advantage of that power vacuum with, like, I don't know, in my mind it would be gangs, mafia type people, and this white men are terrorist person's going to be, pressed up against the wall, and I don't think he's going to like it. So protest peacefully, research, read, understand what's actually happening, be empathetic. There's this whole, it's you're either with us or you're against us, and you're a racist, and that horse shit. I think people really need to settle down, But once you start using violence against state, it's over, dude. It's already over. These people are fucked. And I just hope things can get back to normal for these. I got friends in Portland, and it's sketchy down there. And, help each other out. Don't let your friends do dumb shit. And ask, like, what are we trying to get out of this? Like, what is the lady who was naked on the street in Portland last night, facing off against the police with her legs wide open and vagina pointed at the police? What is she trying to do? To me, that's just a selfish publicity grab for her. And that she can go back to her liberal friends. Not that I'm against liberal thinking. I am for most of that in social situations. But it's just like, it's like a notch on the belt or a notch on the bed frame for these people. Yeah, you remember back then I was naked on the street. It's like, what did that accomplish? Nothing. So organize, plan, execute, be accountable to everybody. And, kind of as a, where did I have it? Here we go. So, the ultra sensitivity right now is outstanding and provides endless content for me, but it's also wears me the fuck out. And a lot of that, I believe, is just, internet, and everybody can see everything now, whereas in the old days we couldn't. But I thought I'd find important events from this day in history. Okay, let's see how much things have changed. Well, really cool. On this day, July 20th, this is massive. 1969, Apollo 11 astronauts made history when the first man is landed on the moon. Neil Armstrong and Edwin Buzz Aldrin became the first humans to set foot on Mars, on the moon, leaving the first human footprints in dusty soil. Blah, 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 blah. So that's cool, but let's see. 1923, Mexican Pancho Villa, I'm sorry to say this, I don't know who that is, I recognize the name, is assassinated. Let's see. 1925, an explosion in New York sends the owner crashing through the windows onto a three floors below. Has been traced to an illegal 8 gallons. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Sorry. U.S. wages, $8.80 per week. UK helps Germany. Whoa. 1939. United Kingdom helps Germany. Think they were kicking themselves in the foot in a few years? Prime Minister MacDonald of Great Britain is hosting one of the most important conferences since Versailles, with 7 of the world's most important statesmen attending. The conference is trying to try and help the war-stricken Germany get free from the economic collapse that it's currently facing. They did not do their background checks. 1948, President Harry Truman issued a proclamation calling for peacetime military draft. Cold War starting. India conflict in China. Let's see here. 1951, King Abdullah of Jordan is assassinated in this is all on July 20th. Assassinated in Jerusalem by Palestinian nationalists. I mean, this is Groundhog's Day, right? Okay, and this is all right. I think this is both calming and entirely upsetting. 1964, USA Harlem riots. Violence has flared up again in Harlem, New York, during burial services for those killed during the earlier riots, with 14 more hurt. African American leaders in the community are urging calm, but hooligans are continuing to cause damage to property in the area. UK IRA bombing. Shout out to Jock, dude. You had me with the car bombs and the Irish. The IRA is continuing its bombing campaign on the British mainland with 2 IRA bomb blasts in central London, one in Hyde Park killing 2 soldiers and injuring 23. Another one killing 6. More bombings. 2007, July 20th, USA terrorist torture banned. I don't even know how they can say that. We definitely still do that. I believe The Dark Knight came out on the 20th, and that's when that shooting happened. Yep, shooting at Denver Batman movie showing. And yeah, fun times. So I think perspective is pretty good. And acknowledging the fact that regardless of whatever moron is in office, there are so many power players, including the Bank of Credit and Commerce, which I recommend reading on. It's a financial organization protected and used by the CIA. Kevin Ryan summarized it as CIA-linked terrorist financing network. Peter Dale Scott wrote that it's clear throughout the 1980s the American state in Washington was involved with BCCI and protected it. Essentially, this is actually connected to the Deutsche Bank and this unfortunate murder we had up in with the judge up there. So I did see, unfortunately, New York people I think are fucking done behaving. We did so good for so long. As of the weekend numbers haven't hit, but we're at 1.2. And I saw in the news they're just having like block parties in Queens, and bars are just, people are just, you still have to be outside, but there's photos I was seeing of like, hundreds of people together, no masks. And, I get it. People are just over it, It's like, oh, we're in New York, things are safe now, but you have all these people coming in and it's probably going to spike back up. I hope not. But that is de Blasio's issue, and no summonses or anything was sent out. Like, you can't have, it's against the law to be doing these things, and there is no order. So there's just police like looking at people, and police are so scared right now to do anything because they're going to get sued or kicked off the force. And you have these rich Manhattan kids that'll just talk shit to cops, and so they're just scared. And so we'll see. I don't know. Finally, I talked about the Tough as Nails show. It's on CBS. It's an amazing show. I feel like I would have loved it as a kid. It's Tough as Nails, okay? This podcast is brought to you by Canada Dry, Mac, and Tough as Nails on CBS Sunday nights, 7 o'clock. Tough as Nails is the show where they got like a firefighter, they got like a nurse or something, they got a police officer, they got like one construction dude. who looks like he hasn't done construction a day in his life. They all got these fancy like work boots on. They got their like goggles and shit. And, you know, I come from the contracting world, which I need to go off on again because I was reminded of how terrible glazers are. I'm sure there's some good ones out there, but man, they are divas. And like the first challenge yesterday was the team that can break a car apart the first. So they have these people, like they have this like 60-year-old lady smashing the back window with a hammer. And then they got this one guy with a sawzall, like trying to cut the car apart. And then the second challenge was taking tires off of wheels. So it's extremely embarrassing to the blue collar community to see these fuckers out there. And what they do when like they're like interviewing the person after the thing, they literally put like dirt on their faces to make it look like they've worked harder, but during the actual show their faces are fine. So we shall see how the world goes. I'm not much of a reader, but I have found recently, maybe it's me getting older, and if I could start liking to read, I would love it. I got a book called by Flea, who is the original bassist and co-founder of the Red Hot Chili Peppers. It is amazing. I've never read a book written by a musician, but it makes sense in my mind more than any other type of author so far. And his experience in the youth and not belonging to anything and all those pains and stuff. And I'm about halfway through where he met Anthony, who is the lead singer there. And their adventures in Hollywood in the 70s and 80s are incredible. So I'll probably finish that in the next couple days. Great book. It's by Flea, and it's called Acid for the Children, and fantastic book. So with that, I'm probably going to go get a little tan on at the lake, use my white privileged ass to enjoy myself here in nature. So take it easy, and I will check in on you on Thursday. Have a great week. Be nice. Take care of each other. See you later.